Victoria Meckley. I'm with RSNH, and I am the immediate past chair of the Young Professionals.
I'm Tim Downs. I'm Lieutenant Commander in the Navy, a Civil Engineer Corps officer, and I'm the Vice Chair for Credentialing under the YPCOI.
I'm Willie Parks. I'm a registered architect with RM Architects, and I'm the Assistant Vice Chair within the committee.
There was a kind of an assessment of how everything is going in those COIs, and credentialing had always had a little bit of struggles trying to get started and moving, and most young professionals are pursuing or debating on credentials during their time as young professional within the society. So it made a lot of sense for us to try to infuse some of that young professional enthusiasm and energy into credentialing. We also wanted to take a different approach of just providing resources versus taking it on as a community of interest as a whole. It made a lot of sense to just give our members, make it a member benefit of all of the resources that we can provide to help them determine what credential to go after and how to go after it, and then connect them with mentors that can advise them as they're pursuing that credential.
It had been focused just on YPs and enlisted. We felt it was easy to just expand to everybody and make it a society-wide benefit, and then we didn't want to duplicate efforts either. And so as far as like being a one-stop shop to just like create a bunch of material, we want to just connect you to existing material, because being that portal, being that conduit was key. So it'd be a benefit to not only current SAME members, but maybe future SAME members, where they might realize, hey, SAME has this portal where they just help get you to where you need to go. And so to attract, people that aren't familiar with SAME to the site, to look for it as a resource in that aspect.
Yeah.
And I'd say the previous COI focused on what the credential was versus the why. So that's kind of something that we really talked through in the early stages of creating like our agenda, and what we wanted to achieve was, why should you be credentialed, and then what credentials.
Having the license, really, every decision I make now, not necessarily just because I'm in the Navy or otherwise, is like I really think through, like, am I the right person to make this decision based on my experience? It benefited me because it's made sure that I'm only making decisions I should be making, but also I'm reaching out and seeking the SMEs or the experts that should maybe be making the decision, or getting their feedback at least to contribute to that engineering decision or otherwise.
Much like Tim said, on the private side, if you want to move up, you got to get the RA. So getting that has helped me progress in my career a lot faster than some of my other classmates that are still just draftspeople. I'm a project manager. I do a lot of the business development aspect. But it also has allowed me, like Tim says, to connect to different people that maybe if I didn't have the RA, I wouldn't be talking to more higher level PEs and getting those kinds of conversations. So I really think it helps with, knowledge of moving my career forward and the industry, along with the connections that I probably wouldn't have had if I hadn't gone through getting my RA that early.
We've developed some resources, some one-pagers about some of the top credentials across SAME that we've, through some data collection, identified those that most SAME members have. And so we have like a top 10. It's not everything, but it's what a lot of people have, and so we focused on those initially. We're not limited to those, but that's where we're starting. And so getting those one-pagers to help provide that basic information of like, what is this credential, and where do I need to go to get more information or more publications and resources, and also then career paths. So we talked about that for a moment, as far as what those credentials will do for you for your credentials. So like, what kind of job titles, what kind of years of experience do you need to anticipate or expect when you have those credentials.
And I think it's important to note too that it's not just like the PE and the RA. We've looked at multiple different credentials that maybe aren't considered a professional credential, but it is still important to career development, like SMPS and LEAD. So not necessarily something that you would have to go to college and get a degree for, but just these credentials that can help you